Alright, so Bogus, which is a 1996 American fantasy film, but it's also a drama. So they forgot to add drama to it, because, I mean, it's basically, Whoopi Goldberg plays a restaurant, she sells, like, restaurant type equipment stuff, I believe, but, like, she's trying to open up her own restaurant as well. She's trying to get this guy to do it, but that's her whole thing that she's trying to do. And she gets a call, pretty much being told that her foster sister from years ago had a son. She died, and now she has to care for the 7-year-old son, who's played by Haley Joel Osment, who is from Sixth Sense, which I don't really care for that movie. But yeah, I remember watching this back in the day. It's pretty much her trying to raise him, as well as trying to adjust to this, as well as both of them trying to adjust to changes, living with each other, while also he's trying to cope with losing his mom in the process. But yeah, like, it's not, I mean, it's not like it's really not a comedy. It's a drama with fantasy elements in it. There's mostly, though, like, again, it deals with, like, loss, because, again, this kid, he's 7, and his mom dies in a car accident, and he wants to live with these circus people, because she worked as an assistant to a magician, so he's really into magic and, make-believe stuff. And Harriet, played by Whoopi Goldberg's character, she's like a realist. Like, she doesn't believe in, fairy tales and all that stuff, because we find out later in the movie why she's that way, and why she's so, not really cold, but more of serious all the time, nonchalant about that type of stuff. No nonsense. But there's little bits of her that do try to kinda, I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's parts of her childlike self comes out in scenes with Albert. But yeah, overall, like, the acting I thought was good. Granted, I was younger when I saw this, but I still enjoyed it. And I understood, like, what it was about, but, like, some of the dialogue I didn't really, I guess, catch on until, like, years later, like, finally watching this. But yeah, this was like a family, this was like a childhood favorite of mine. Mainly because I was a fan of Whoopi Goldberg. I remember Jumpin' Jack Flash, of course, Sister Act. Apparently this movie did poorly at the box office. Like, it bombed, I guess. And apparently, Whoopi's performance got her a Razzie, which I don't see how it was a bad performance, but whatever. I thought her character was decent. I did like the friendship between Albert and his, bogus imaginary friend, who's like basically a Frenchman, magician, imaginary guy, who they do stay consistent in terms of he's not real, but he interacts with it's like, there's a scene where, like, Harriet brings Albert, because, like, a dinner or snack, but he pretends to be asleep. She fixes him a sandwich, but, like, she leaves the room, and, like, Albert at one point, or not Albert, but Bogus at one point picks up the sandwich, and then bites both of the sandwiches. So I don't know if Albert's mind, he's, I guess, the Bogus is eating sandwiches, but not Albert. Like, it's very weird. Like, that one scene I didn't understand. Like, other than, like, everything else, like, he doesn't interact with other stuff, really, that I remember. But that one scene where, like, he's eating a sandwich, because Albert says he doesn't want any, so then Bogus eats both of the sandwiches, and we see him eat the sandwiches, but then it's like, but they don't never really address, like, some of that. So I don't know, like, that part I didn't get. But everything else, like, again, is even the third act where uh you know we get her backstory and, like, why she's the way she is, why she's so serious all the time and kind of closed off. Granted, there was a scene, they do a flashback scene of her meeting his mom, and they grow up as, children in the foster home, whatever. It's not funny, but, like, the dialogue in that scene where, like, the mom, child version of her, where she's like, you can stay in my room and we'll be best friends. It's like, I don't know, like, you didn't really need to say, you didn't really need that. We already know that they were best friends, because she says that in that same, not that same scene, but she says that in a scene where she's trying to, start a conversation with Albert, and he's kind of not trying to even deal with her. And so I did like the dynamic between them, where, like, he's talking to Bogus, and there's, like, times where, like, Harriet's like, who are you talking to? And he's like, nobody. Or, like, he'll whisper to Bogus, and then she'll be like, she'll do, or she won't what? Or, like, he'll say, nothing. Or, like, the scene where she tells him, like, what they have to eat at the house when they first, when she first brings them home. And, like, he's like, we like nachos, or something like that, and she's like, well, we don't have nachos, we have fish cakes. So, like, some of that stuff was funny. Even the scene where, like, she's, awkward with him in the bathroom, where she runs his bath for him, and she's like, well, I know if it's too hot, let me know. And she's like, you need me undressed? Or he's like, I got it, or whatever, and she's like, oh, okay. And then she just walks off, and, or she'll catch him talking to himself, or even the kids at school tease him a little bit. Or they don't really tease him, but they laugh at him at one point when he's arguing with the teacher. So, about the meaning of bogus, what the word actually is. He doesn't believe that. But yeah, like, even the final, like, the third act, like, the whole climax scene. As a kid, I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I just thought, oh, that's what he's doing. But then it's like, oh, okay, that's why he was climbing. Okay. But yeah, overall, I guess, again, it's not like your typical Whoopi Goldberg, you know, cussing and, comedy, humor type movie. This is pretty, I wouldn't say, like, serious, but I did like some of the messages, like, you gotta believe in magic, and, life can be pretty fun if be a kid once in a while, or don't ever, you know, forget your childlike self or whatever. Um, it's okay to be a kid even when you're a grown up or whatever. At least that's why I got the message. That's what I took from it anyway. Um, but yeah, overall, I still enjoyed the movie, even the ending. Again, the final scene. I think the way it ends, I didn't like how it ends on Bogus. Like, the final frame of the movie or shot is on him, with a girl, with a little. He appears to another kid, and like I would just cut it with or shot it with Whoopi and uh you know Osmond's character where they're walking off laughing or whatever. Because now they're closer. I did like the dynamic at the end also with them. We're trying to be a family and stuff like that. So yeah, overall, again, it's shot well. The dialogue's pretty funny to me. Um, the message I thought was pretty well received from me. Um, the acting's good from pretty much everybody. Um, yeah, overall, I liked it. Still enjoyed it. Um, I would say give it a watch if you're a fan of Whoopi Goldberg. I wouldn't say this is like one of her, what she's known for, like Sister Act and the rest of them, but I would say like if yeah. Anyway, peace, love, and like, comment, subscribe, and share.